Hey, well, so there were only two topics today. One was brief, and one I needed at least somebody from Very Silicon or somebody who worked on profiles, and I don't see Brian. The easy one is, hey, can you, Andrew, could you please follow up on that document, the
The CLA.
CLA? Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing that. It is moving very slowly, but it's moving.
Got it. Okay. As long as the same. I think we missed the October deadline, so we've got one more month, so we're all good.
Okay.
Um, we're all good.
That's it, is it?
Sorry?
So that's it, is it? That was your other piece of
Well, the other
business.
one was basically so we were, well, Ram is here, but I don't think he wrote any profiles either. So basically what's happening is, we did the AXI profiles, right?
Right.
Um
The transaction layer profiles.
the transaction layer profiles. And no, we sort of did them on our own without ARM's blessing, right? Um and what I'm trying to figure out is what I'm trying to figure out is what exactly do we ask ARM for if we want their blessing? Right? We took axes, so I'm hoping somebody we kind of right now we haven't released them in public, and then NXP released the spec called a diport spec, and their arms somebody from ARM got in touch with them and said you can't do this and you can't do that in the spec, and they went and modified the spec that they released. So we can ask ARM for, hey, what kind of what kind of latitude do we have, or what leeway do we have in using this? What are the ground rules in publishing profiles? But I wanted to make it a very specific ask, and the only person I know who's written profiles is Brian from Very Silicon,
Okay.
and maybe Elad and somebody from Ventana, but David from Ventana hasn't attended this call in a while, so maybe I ought to chase everybody down for a specific profile based call. But but the idea is, like, how do we, what specific ask do we do?
I would have thought that
Here, I'll show you the
what you say is this is the document we plan to publish. Is that okay? Or do you think that's not the right way to go?
um what I'm hoping for is, like, when that's what we thought with the diport thing, that was fairly harmless, and
Right.
it turned out not to be.
Okay.
Right. And here, okay, let me pull out the bus variant. Oh, Brian's here. Okay. All right. You're the guy we're waiting for, Brian.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So this is the last thing I had from you on the. So there were two things today. One is asking all of you to please shepherd the CLA along in your organization so that it gets signed. We can't present to the incubation committee until the CLA is signed. So if you could please follow up. I think we missed the October deadline, so maybe if we can do it in time for November, that would be good. And the second thing I wanted to talk about was this. What do we want to ask AXI for? Is there something tangible? Like I don't know what ARM made NXP change specifically. I never got a solid grasp on it. And right now these aren't really.
No, it was a trademark issue. Like you weren't able to. I don't remember the specific context, but there was some way you couldn't refer to it as ARM AMBA AXI or something like that. You had to just call it AXI. I think that was the feedback, but it was silly. I think that's not really what I'm concerned with in terms of the trademarking. I'm mostly concerned with you know, it would be nice to get ARM's blessing that the because it's all opinion here, right? What bit widths and things like that on some of these optional fields make the most sense. And so it would be good if somebody from ARM was like, yeah, you guys did a good job, or no, I think you guys should consider making this wider, or something like that. I think that's really what I'm mostly concerned with.
What was the sort of basis on which you chose your width and all?
Just discussion.
Just discussion. Okay. I mean, but
Yeah.
was it sort of based on like, you know, this is the expected bandwidth or something? What was the?
Right. No, it's not, speeds and feeds were never the issue, right? It was always infrastructure things like ID widths and things like that, and it's based on, you know, like what's a good example here? I'd have to go back and look at my notes. You know, it's all based on like, you know, topologies and things like that. You know, what's our expected, you know, most common denominator, or least common denominator on or most likely scenario for like fabric topologies for like IDs and things like that, right? So it wasn't like, and like, you know, because if you pick the worst case and everything, because we tried to pick worst case if we could fit it, but a lot of times that would, you know, push us up to the next unit granularity on the packet size. So we had to make some tough calls. Again, if ARM was like, he needs to, if ARM has feedback, I have a whole spreadsheet where I have the reasons we picked all the different values, so we can have a deeper discussion. No, not that one.
Okay. So basically we're one, I think that's a ask unlikely to be granted. But fundamentally we're asking if somebody can review these and to say these are the constraints under which we packed all of this into one packet, and what say you, basically? That's the ask to them.
Yeah. If they have feedback for any of this, that would be great.
Okay. But we don't have any concerns about trademarks, and you like let's say Verisilicon would be willing to publish these as a contribution right out the door. There's no issues at all.
I don't think so. Okay.
So the basic ask to ARM, so we could in fact probably just send them these things and say, we want to publish these. Do you guys have any objections, or and do you have any feedback?
Yeah, that would be fine.
These exact documents from
when did I
good
send
God,
these?
they're almost a year old now. Unbelievable.
Let me check my drive 1 second.
Okay, well, whenever offline, it's not urgent. So if you send it to me, we can send it to them and say, hey, we want to talk to you at the Global Summit after. Wait, are you coming?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm only there for the first 2 days, though. I can't. I have a conflict for the third day.
Wait, the third day is actually Thursday, the day of the actual ODSA workshop?
Yeah, I won't be there on Thursday, unfortunately.
Okay, so if we could do a meeting, okay, then you see if you could please send this to me, we'll send it to, we'll see whether we can at least get a meeting on this during the summit sometime.
Okay, sounds good.
Well done, Andrew, that was like way faster than even I thought.
Right.
Okay, so then if anybody has any feedback on the control spec, we can make any changes, etc. But otherwise, our biggest item is to get that ratified and done, basically, once you gentlemen can get your organizations to sign it. Outside of that, I don't have anything because yeah, those are only two priorities. What are publishing these profiles and publishing the control spec, and then we've got a complete stack definition. Anybody else have anything?
Okay.
Ram, Andrew, Jerry?
No.
Should we would it be easier to, like, say, I can appreciate that it's hard to sort of review a painful document offline. Should we just burn one meeting reading through that doc? And is that going to be easier as far as the review goes? I'm asking, not recommending.
Yeah, that might be easy. I have tried to read it.
I mean, it's like I wrote and if I read, I fall asleep within 10 minutes. So, you know.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky. I don't completely follow it. That's part
Should
of the
we
trouble.
just, since I'm not prepared today, should we just burn next week on just reading it from reading it as a group?
I'm okay with that.
And then making any edits we want in real time? Ram, does that work for you? Brian? I mean, we lost Ram, so.
What was the question again?
Well, since I can appreciate that it's hard to read a document like this offline, should we just burn a meeting, scanning the document as a group from top to bottom and making any final changes we want to? The control path spec.
Yeah, definitely. That would probably be better. I mean, I have to really motivate myself to go and read it, but if you do that in a meeting, then that would be great.
Don't be gentle with my feelings, man. All right. Yeah, jokes aside, yes, let's do that. I think it's just one of those too damn painful to read offline. So we just knock it off in one session. Brian, does that work for you too? So maybe next Thursday I'll sort of read it to make sure I know what I wrote and walk you all through it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then on that bright note, thank you all.
Okay.
Thanks, Happy.
Bye.
Hey,
Bye.
Brian, just send me the final version and I'll forward it along.
All right, will do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.